The young bride who saved her marriage with a single night's journey. The sun rose over the village of Kafuma, painting the clay huts and winding paths with a soft golden light. The air smelled of fresh earth and smoke from early fires. Amara woke that morning with a heavy heart. It was her first year of marriage, and the promise of joy she had imagined had begun to crumble. Her husband, Django, a man once gentle and patient, had grown suspicious and harsh. He accused her of hiding money from him and demanded she confess. She had nothing to hide, but his words cut deep. She felt shame, confusion, and fear mingle in her chest. In the small courtyard where she prepared millet porridge, Amara's mind raced. She remembered the advice her mother had once whispered. True wisdom sometimes comes not in arguments, but in listening. She made a decision. She would take a journey tonight to her mother's village, far across the hills and forests, to seek guidance. She would not confront Django now. Tonight she would seek clarity. As dusk fell, she wrapped herself in a worn but clean cloth, filled a small calabash with water, and stepped into the path that led to the dusty road beyond the village. The night was quiet except for the distant calls of owls and the rustling of leaves. Her heart pounded with a mixture of fear and anticipation. The village behind her seemed smaller with each step. She felt as though she carried not only her own worries, but the weight of the household's expectations. After a few miles, Amara encountered an elderly widow sitting by a fire beside the road. Her name was Mama Femi, known in the neighboring villages for her wisdom and her stubborn independence. The woman lifted her eyes from the fire and smiled. "Where do you go at this hour, child?" she asked, her voice gentle but curious. Amara explained her plight without shame. Mama Femi nodded slowly. "Many marriages begin in storms," she said, "but storms can teach you more than calm days. Sit, eat, and I will tell you what you must hear." They shared roasted yams and tea while Mama Femi spoke of her own life. She told Amara about her first husband, who had doubted her honesty, and how she survived the humiliation with patience and courage. She spoke of the strength that comes from knowing oneself and the patience to listen before speaking. Amara felt a strange calm settle over her. She realized that anger would not save her marriage. Understanding might. Continuing her journey, Amara walked under the moonlight until the forest thickened. There, she met two travelers carrying heavy loads on their backs. They were merchants returning from a distant market. They shared with her their own stories of struggles and partnerships and families. They spoke of misunderstandings that seemed insurmountable, but were solved with simple honesty and careful words. Amara listened quietly, absorbing every lesson. By midnight, she had reached the river that divided her village from her mother's. The water reflected the stars as if the heavens themselves were watching. She paused and thought of Django. She realized she knew little of the pressures he faced, just as he understood little of hers. In that silent moment, Amara made a promise to approach him not with accusations or tears, but with truth and calm resolve. As she neared her mother's village, a sudden shout startled her. From behind a tree, a young boy appeared holding a lantern. "Lady, you travel at night alone?" he asked. Amara explained her journey. The boy nodded knowingly and guided her to a small resting hut where she could sleep briefly. Exhausted but filled with a strange courage, she lay down. Dreams of her journey, the stories she had heard, and the wisdom of elders swirled together. She knew tomorrow would be the day she would confront Django not with anger but with a different kind of strength. When the first light of dawn crept through the hut, Amara woke to find a note slipped under the door. It was from an old woman who had watched travelers for decades. It read simply, "The truth you carry is heavier than fear. Speak it carefully." Amara tucked the paper into her cloth and stepped outside. The morning mist clung to the trees and fields. She realized the journey had changed her already. She was no longer just a young bride. She was a woman armed with patience, wisdom, and courage. But as she prepared to leave the village and return home, a sound froze her blood. From the path leading to her mother's fields came the sound of Django's voice. He was not supposed to know she had left. Amara's heart raced. She hid behind a bush and peered through the leaves. Django was walking toward her mother's house with a stranger she did not recognize. His expression was troubled, almost fearful. Amara's hand tightened around the calabash. Something was happening that would change everything. Amara held her breath behind the bush as Django approached her mother's compound. The stranger beside him was tall and carried a bundle that rattled with each step. Django's voice, usually commanding and certain, trembled slightly as he spoke. "I cannot explain it yet, but I must see her. She must understand before the others hear." The words sent a shiver down Amara's spine. Whatever had brought him here at this hour was important, and it was serious. She realized that this night would not only test her courage, but reveal truths she had never imagined. Silently, she stepped out of her hiding place, careful not to be seen. Her mother, Mama Lindai, emerged from the hut and greeted Django with measured surprise. "What brings you here so early and with a stranger?" she asked, her voice calm yet curious. Django looked at Amara's mother and then at the stranger who had remained silent. "I need guidance," he admitted, "and I was told this woman knows how to see things others miss." His eyes flicked briefly toward Amara's hiding spot. The stranger nodded and began setting down the bundle. Amara's curiosity and concern battled with caution. She stepped forward and revealed herself. "Django," she said quietly, "why are you here at this hour?" Django turned, and for the first time in many weeks, his eyes softened. "Amara," he began, "there is something you do not know about our home, about what I feared, but I will explain everything if you are willing to listen." The stranger set the bundle down and uncovered a small chest filled with coins and letters. Amara's eyes widened. She had thought the accusations of hidden money were baseless. Now she realized there was more to the story than she could have guessed. Mama Lindai gestured for them all to sit near the fire. The night was still, the forest quiet around them as if listening. Django spoke slowly, recounting how he had discovered a chest hidden beneath the floorboards of their hut in Kafuma. It was filled with letters from his late uncle and small sums of money saved for emergencies. He confessed that he had suspected Amara of keeping secrets, when in fact he had been misled by old family arrangements and rumors from neighbors. The stranger, a trusted messenger from Django's uncle, had come to ensure the truth reached both of them. Amara listened carefully. She felt anger rise but swallowed it. The night had taught her patience and the wisdom of observation. She realized that confrontation without understanding could destroy what little harmony remained. "Django," she said finally, "I knew nothing of this chest. I carry honesty in my heart and truth in my hands. We cannot let fear and suspicion govern our home." Django lowered his gaze, ashamed. He realized the weight of his accusations and the pain they had caused. As they spoke, the elder messenger revealed another detail. The letters from the chest contained instructions for Django and Amara's household. They described the importance of unity, trust, and shared responsibilities in marriage. They warned of jealousy, doubt, and the harm of believing rumors over experience. Amara's heart swelled with a mixture of relief and awe. She had spent the night traveling, learning the stories of widows and elders, absorbing wisdom from strangers on the road. Now she could see clearly how fragile misunderstanding could be, and how courage combined with patience could change outcomes. Django finally spoke, voice low and sincere. "Amara, I have wronged you. I let fear and pride blind me. I do not know how to ask for forgiveness properly, but I promise to listen and to trust. Will you give me that chance?" Amara studied him carefully. She saw the weight of regret in his shoulders, the truth in his eyes. She took a deep breath and nodded. "Yes, Django, but you must also learn that love and trust grow with understanding and humility. We cannot let pride rule our hearts." The night deepened as they discussed how they would manage their household and finances together. Amara shared the lessons she had learned from the travelers, the widows, and Mama Femi along the path. She spoke of patience, careful observation, and the power of listening. She told him stories of women who survived hardship without anger and of men who found strength in humility. Django listened with a reverence he had never shown before. Each story seemed to open a window in his mind. By the time the moon dipped low and the first hints of dawn colored the sky, Amara and Django had reached a new understanding. Their marriage, once on the brink of humiliation and anger, now had a fragile but real chance to flourish. But as they prepared to leave Mama Lindai's village and return to Kafuma, a sudden cry pierced the quiet. A child's voice, desperate and trembling, came from the path where they had first entered. The sound was unmistakable. Someone was in danger, and the way back to the village would not be easy. Amara felt her hand tighten on Django's arm. The lessons of patience and courage were about to be tested again, not in words this time, but in action. She realized that their journey together was only beginning, and that the night had more revelations in store for them. She glanced at Django, who now seemed smaller than usual, vulnerable, yet ready to act. The decision they made next would determine the fate of more than just their marriage. Amara's heart raced as she followed the cry. The child's voice came from the path that led to the river crossing. The moonlight glinted off the water, and she could see a small figure struggling near the edge. Without hesitation, she ran, Django close behind. The stranger who had accompanied him from his uncle's village moved cautiously, but Amara's focus was entirely on the child. She reached the bank and saw a boy no older than 10 trapped on a rock surrounded by swift currents. His eyes were wide with fear. Django knelt beside her. "We must be careful," he said. "The water is strong." Amara nodded. She scanned the surroundings and noticed a fallen tree lying across the river a few meters upstream. "We can use that to reach him," she said. Together, they moved carefully along the slippery stones and branches. Every step was a test of balance and courage. The child whimpered as the river gushed, but Amara's voice remained calm. "Hold on. We will not let you fall. Keep your hands steady." Finally, after a tense struggle, Amara stretched out her hands and pulled the boy from the water's edge. His small body shivered violently, and his teeth chattered. She wrapped her shawl around him and held him close. "You are safe now," she whispered. Django breathed heavily beside her. The stranger nodded approvingly. "You acted with courage," he said quietly. Most adults would hesitate in fear. Amara felt a surge of relief. In that moment, she understood that true strength came from action, not words. As they carried the boy back to the hut, the first rays of dawn colored the sky in soft pinks and golds. Mama Lindai appeared at the doorway, concern etched on her face. When she saw the boy safe in Amara's arms, her eyes softened. "You have done well, child," she said. "Your heart is brave and steady. The wisdom you carry is not only from elders but from your own courage." The boy clung to Amara, murmuring thanks. She smiled gently. "We must help each other. That is how we survive and grow," she replied. Once the child was safely reunited with his family, Amara and Django prepared to return to Kafuma. The journey back was quiet at first. Django walked beside her, hesitant but reflective. He finally spoke. "Amara, I see now how fear and mistrust could have destroyed us. You were patient, wise, and fearless tonight. I see what I have been blind to." Amara nodded. "We all carry burdens and stories we cannot see. Trust is built on understanding and shared struggle. We cannot let rumors and assumptions rule our home." On the path back, they encountered villagers who had begun their morning routines. Women were grinding millet and men were returning from the fields with baskets of produce. Children ran along the dirt roads, their laughter breaking the stillness. Amara felt a sense of grounding. Life in the village moved on despite fear, misunderstanding, and mistakes. She realized that marriages, like villages, required constant care, attention, and courage. It was not the grand gestures but the daily acts of patience and respect that held them together. As they neared Kafuma, a shadow fell across the path. It was one of Django's uncles, the same man whose chest of letters had caused confusion. His eyes were narrowed, and he looked troubled. "I heard rumors," he said bluntly. "Rumors that Amara has been hiding your wealth. I wanted to see if they were true." Django stepped forward, holding his wife's hand. "Uncle, the rumors are false. Amara has done nothing but seek guidance and act with courage. The chest you sent was misunderstood. We are no longer children to be misled by whispers." The uncle's eyes widened, and for a moment, the air was thick with tension. Then he nodded slowly, as if realizing his mistake. "I have been harsh," he admitted. "You have my respect. I see that wisdom can come from many places, and actions speak louder than assumptions." Amara felt a sense of relief but also a lingering unease. The village could still be a place of gossip and doubt. She knew the real test would be maintaining this new understanding at home. When they finally arrived at their hut, the sun was high. The village had begun to bustle with the normal rhythm of life. Amara and Django stepped inside together. For the first time in months, the house felt like a home. They shared a meal in silence, letting the warmth of restored trust fill the space. Yet Amara could not shake the feeling that something else lingered just beyond sight. A letter had been tucked inside the chest from the uncle that hinted at another secret, one that had remained hidden for years. She glanced at Django, whose expression mirrored her curiosity and apprehension. That evening, as the village settled into the quiet hum of twilight, Amara decided to open the letter. Her hands trembled slightly as she unfolded the paper. The words revealed a family secret about resources and inheritance that neither she nor Django had anticipated. It was something that could change the balance of their lives, their responsibilities, and the way the village viewed them. Amara's eyes widened as she read. She looked at Django and saw the same shock mirrored in his gaze. Their journey of understanding had not ended with the knight's return. The true challenge, the one that would test the strength of their marriage and courage, was only beginning. Amara held the letter tightly, her mind racing through every word. The paper revealed that Django's late uncle had secretly entrusted part of the family's wealth to Amara's care, believing she possessed the integrity and wisdom to preserve it. He had hidden this from Django to test his judgment and patience. Amara's heart pounded as she realized the depth of the misunderstanding that had caused so much conflict. She looked at Django. His eyes reflected a mixture of shame and awe. "Amara," he whispered, "I did not know. All this time I accused you of hiding things, and it was I who had failed to understand." His voice trembled, carrying genuine regret. Amara took a deep breath. She could have been angry, could have demanded apologies, yet the lessons from her night-long journey had shaped her response. "Django," she said softly, "anger would solve nothing. But now we have a choice. We can rebuild trust and move forward together." Django knelt before her, taking her hands in his. "I will do whatever it takes," he said. "Teach me, guide me. I want to be the husband you deserve." Amara smiled, feeling a warmth she had not known in months. They spoke late into the night, planning how they would manage the household, the hidden inheritance, and their roles as partners. Every word, every plan was steeped in patience, respect, and mutual understanding. The quiet glow of the fire cast their shadows on the walls, marking the beginning of a new chapter. The next morning, the village awoke to a transformed household. Neighbors noticed a change in the couple as they went about their daily routines. Django, who had been distant and suspicious, now moved with humility and attentiveness. Amara, once timid and uncertain, now carried herself with calm confidence. Village elders whispered among themselves, recognizing that the young bride had not only saved her marriage, but also set an example for the entire community. Yet life was not without challenges. The hidden wealth required careful handling. Some villagers, unaware of the full story, spread whispers, testing the couple's patience. Amara recalled the wisdom of Mama Femi and the travelers she had met on her journey. She knew that strength came from action, not argument. She and Django faced every rumor together, confronting them with transparency and calm. Slowly, the community began to respect their integrity and courage. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Amara sat outside the hut weaving baskets. Django approached her with a soft smile. "Do you remember the night you left for your mother's village?" he asked. Amara nodded. "I remember every step," she replied. Django continued, "That journey changed everything. Not just for you, but for me too. I see now that love is not measured by possession or suspicion, but by trust, understanding, and courage." Amara felt a surge of affection. She knew that their marriage, once teetering on the edge of humiliation and anger, had been reborn through wisdom and patience. Months passed, and the couple grew closer. Amara's lessons from the journey stories of widows, travelers, and elders became part of their daily lives. They shared experiences with neighbors, offering guidance to younger couples and lending wisdom to those facing conflict. The village of Kafuma began to change subtly. People noticed that patience and listening could solve disputes as effectively as forceful arguments. The young bride's night-long journey had created ripples far beyond her own household. One day, Django's uncle returned to the village. He observed Amara and Django managing their home and family with remarkable harmony. He smiled quietly, knowing that his test had succeeded. The young bride had not only saved her marriage, but had transformed her husband, inspired the village, and ensured that the family legacy was entrusted to capable hands. Amara greeted the uncle with grace, acknowledging the responsibility she now carried with dignity and courage. As twilight descended, Amara stood at the edge of the village, looking at the hills she had crossed during that fateful night. She reflected on every encounter: the widows who had shared hard truths, the travelers who revealed the value of honesty, and Mama Femi's quiet wisdom by the roadside. Each step had taught her patience, resilience, and the power of calm understanding. She realized that the journey was never just about saving her marriage. It was about learning to live with courage, compassion, and wisdom in every decision. That night, as Amara and Django lay beneath the thatched roof of their hut, the moonlight spilling over their sleeping forms, a sense of peace settled in. They had faced suspicion, humiliation, and the unknown. They had confronted their fears not with anger, but with understanding. The young bride's night-long journey had not only changed their marriage, but had also revealed the strength hidden within her and the depth of love that could flourish when patience and wisdom guided every step. And as the village slept, the wind whispered through the trees, carrying the lesson of one young bride's courage to all who were willing to listen. The night had passed, but its lessons would endure forever. In the village of Kafuma, young bride Amara faces humiliation when her husband accuses her of hiding money during their first year of marriage. Instead of responding with anger, she embarks on a night-long journey to her mother's village, encountering travelers, widows, and elders who share hard truths about life, love, and trust. Guided by their wisdom, Amara returns home with patience and insight, confronting her husband calmly. The revelation of a hidden family secret transforms their marriage, teaching them both the power of understanding, honesty, and courage. Through her bravery, Amara not only saves her marriage but inspires her village, proving that true strength lies in wisdom, compassion, and resilience.